Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Palms Gone Wild. Actually, it's T3 Wargaming, but I'm here at Irresistible Force in Burley with my fellow countryman, Mr. Chris Welfare.
Hello, I'm Australian as well now.
Are you? Oh yeah, you are now.
So I don't know, but yes, I am a Pomditaire as well.
They'll give him the full-time visa and I get the part-time.
I've been here 7 years.
No, you're putting the time and effort, that's fair. So today, as always, we're playing another 2,000 point game of Age of Sigmar 3rd edition, and I'm bringing OBR again, and you're bringing?
I'm bringing Idoneth Deepkin.
Yes. Probably the worst matchup for IDK when I've brought two catapults, because I have to shoot probably eels, and I don't want to shoot eels. I want to shoot a turtle and do the bravery shot and kill it in one shot. Can be done.
We don't want that.
Yes, we do. But you're Thuthan?
Yeah, Futhan with a Tiecaster General, so very likely of flipping the tides.
Yeah. And you're a 1-drop. And this is survival of the fittest. So we will have 3 predator units that I will remember this time because I was rewatching the video I played with Sam and we completely forgot about that rule together. So yeah, you get an extra point if a predator unit kills another predator unit. So yeah, that'll be one thing we will do. So how long have you been in the hobby?
Oh, in the hobby, good 17 years, I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, started with that.
So you made the mistake I made. You left England where it's cheap and came over to Australia where
Yeah, but I was there when I was
super
a child and didn't have money.
Alright.
So,
That's fair.
and I wasn't nowhere near as into it as I am now.
Alright.
Like, I didn't know about the independent scene when I lived over there or anything. So I only played with about 3 of my friends at home. Never played in stores. So yeah, but since I moved here, picked up Age of Sigmar from the beginning and have been was one of the people that kind of was building the Sydney scene up. Kind of from the ground up, really. Lee James, and there was a few of us, and we started to get more and more people on. So yeah, I've been in Sigmar since the beginning, playing competitively. That's when I started listening to podcasts and everything, and kind of then discovered the independent scene and knowledge sharing, and it really kind of helped, I think, improve my skills, I guess, as a game.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's one thing I've noticed since coming over here, especially if you're in Queensland. Come join the community because it's an amazing community. And they've just been so welcoming, and it's great. And if you're one of the people that have helped build it up, I've got you to thank, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Queensland did its same job, and yeah, they did a great job. They're a much bigger scene than Sydney or anywhere really. So I'm super grateful now to be in Queensland and
well,
have this
especially
scene.
right
now. Now that there's very little COVID, etc.
Yeah.
So we're actually able to play. Whereas New South Wales has been in lockdown for a long time and not playing. Couldn't have moved at a better time really, so yeah, it's been great getting in games every week, which I've never done in my life. So getting in at least a game a week for the last kind of few months has been great. So and
probably, that's why I
think I'm up
started
to
the
about
channel. It's just so I can
yeah,
I can play
I've thought about it more and more. Do I do bat reps just to play? But no, that's fine. But yeah, I've definitely played at least 30 games of AOS 3. Cool. So yeah, I'm pretty well versed with the mechanics and all the extra stuff and the hero phase choices and all those extra shenanigans. So.
Do you hear that? That's a challenge to your listeners to try and catch out his mistakes.
I don't know if you've heard there's a thing called all out attack and all out defense.
I don't know because I'm OBR, so
that's true, you don't know. But yeah.
So, okay, right, so we will go have a look at the armies and you can show us all what filth you're bringing and how it works.
Yeah.
Right. All right, Chris, talk us through your list.
Okay, so I've got what I'd say is fairly standard inclusions in most Deepkin, being Leviathan, an Eidolon of the Storm, which is the combat one that gives an 18-inch aura of +1 to wound, and a Soulscryer, pointy man for +3 to charge. And also gives you the ability to take units off the board with him to give you some deep strike if you need it. Only 3-ish lane in this list, which is very light on for me. I normally like to have 6.
Yeah.
But points are a thing, and I've tried something a bit different with this one, so we'll see. The Tiecaster General, as I mentioned before, have to do that in Futhan to let you flip the tides, which I think gives you the opportunity to have a really strong alpha if you want. And being a 1-drop, I want to be able to control first turn to have the choice against certain armies. And then I've got 2 20s of Reavers, which are the archers, which I think are great, especially in Futhan, because they can run and shoot, or run and charge on 3 out of 5 battle rounds, and in those battle rounds they're going to get to reroll 1s to hit as well, and they naturally move 8s, they're a lot faster, and they can also reroll their run rolls naturally, so they're actually super quick for getting onto objectives. And then when they're within 9 of units, they get triple shots, so the output you can get goes from 20 to 60 shots per unit, and they're only 115 points for 10, so they're super cheap. Really good bodies that are just useful to have. And then I've gone for 2 units of thralls. I would have preferred 3 times 10, but I've gone for a 10 and a 20, and the sole purpose of that is because I had 5 units, so I had to make 1 unit into a 20 to keep to 1-drop, because I always want to at least have it come down to a dice roll against the other 1-drops, because there's lists out there like Morathi and the Bow Snakes, and I'm sure you know that they really want to go first.
I have no idea what you're on about.
So I want to at least make that come down to a dice roll rather than just getting to go, cool, I'm going to go first and shoot half your army off and all that jazz. So basically the list. Oh, and I've got a Life Swarm in here. It's 1990, I think.
Okay.
Or 95. It's the same as yours.
Yeah. And
so neither of us gets.
What artifacts?
So the artifacts are the Arcane Tome on the Eidolon. Always just the choice I make. It would be the Amulet of Destiny, weapon, right? Because but he doesn't need it because he's already got a 5-up after save. So it gives me an extra wizard in the list. So Tiecaster's wizard, so it gives me 2 casts, which is basically usually Mystic Shield and then Life Swarm. If I need it, or if I don't need the Life Swarm turn 1, it can be Mystic Shield and Flaming Weapon, or potentially the Metamorphosis to make a monster. I don't have 2 monsters already, so there will be no like run 3 monsters, etc. But just having the option is good. I like the 2 unbinds as well as opposed to 1. Obviously, I can potentially get a 3rd from the Soul Scroll if I use that in my hero phase. But yeah, just having access to, if he needs to go damage, Flaming Weapon. If he needs to be more defensive, it's a mobile Mystic Shield versus the Tidecaster.
And you've gone for Hold the Line,
yes, in this, because I have so much battle line, I've gone for Hold the Line. And with the Life Swarm, hopefully they'll stay alive between Life Swarm and Rally.
Oh, awesome. Okay, and in my list, I have gone for Mortis Praetorians again. I'm a 9-drop. Because I've decided to go for a Warlord Battalion, which will consist of Special K, the Liege Caballos, and my Soul Mason.
What's his real name?
You tell me. I can't remember. I call him Johnny Walker.
He's chairman, so he's Chairman Mao.
Chairman Mao. Oh God, please no. And for artifacts, I've gone for the Mortis Praetorian Blade on this guy, so his staff is now Rend 3, the sharpest staff in the world. And on this guy, I've gone for the Mind Blade. And what the Mind Blade does is if he hits a hero with a 6, my opponent loses a command point, and that hero cannot use command abilities for the rest of the game. Yes. You heard that right. Rest of the game. It's
cannot use, as in he can't benefit from, or he can't issue.
Because it's a 2nd edition thing. It's like you can't use command abilities. So I'd say he can still benefit from them, like if someone else issues them.
So you're always saying he can't issue them?
Yeah, I'd say he can't issue them. I've gone for 2 units of 20 Mortek Guard. These are in Hunters of the Heartland. And then a unit of 10 to fill out my Warlord Battalion. And then I've got 2 of my wonderful catapults that I love so much. Yes, they're probably not as good anymore, but who cares? They're still great. And then I've got the Nightmare Predator as well, just for a little bit of mortal wound output, because against your turtle, I don't have a lot. And that is my list at, I believe, 1990, so it'll be the same as yours, so no triumph for either of us. And I am also doing Hold the Line, because, Mortek Guard are pretty good. Alright, we'll come back after setup. Okay, so we are deployed. So, survival of the fittest, so we have 1, 2, 3 objectives, and we have Arcane,
It's not that great.
Arcane,
It's alright.
Deadly,
What is that?
Deadly, Damned, Inspiring, Mystical, and Damned. So as you can tell, I won the roll-off for the drop. So I put down Catacross first, which then meant you had to drop your entire army, and then I could set up the catapults to counter, which Chris has been agonizing over ever since.
Yep.
So, do you want to talk us through your deployment?
Yeah, so I kind of, as Scott alluded to, I was changing my mind between whether I want to go first or second in deployment. So I've kind of, it was a mix of things. I decided that the Eidolon is probably the best thing to have at the front to try and make his catapult shoot, because actually I can easily all-out defense to be on a 2+ save, and he's got a 5+ after save. 12 wounds, he's got high bravery, so you can't bravery shot it.
Yep.
So that was my thought, but then I also don't want to put bodies so far back that I can't get to the objectives. These guys are a bit far back. So then with my 20, I ended up putting them on the front. I took my eels, 10 thralls, and my soul scroll off the board.
Yes, they are hiding over there.
If I didn't take them off the board, then it would allow Scott to deploy much more openly.
Yeah.
Because I probably don't have the threat to get to him to close his catapults down. But that being said, I think what Scott's done with putting that catapult in the middle, but not screening it, is probably safe, because I can't really get to it anyway, and I can't drop in behind. So realistically, if I'm coming up from the edge, I'm coming over here. So maybe shutting that one down.
Possibly. I mean, you have to be wholly within 6 of it.
To stop it shooting.
Stop it shooting.
Yes, but it is still going to have to shoot the closest unit.
Yeah, true, because I know.
So, but it's because of the downside of having to put my whole army down, Scott's been able to counter. So both those catapults, if he wants to, if I give away the turn, will be in a position to be able to shoot these Reavers. I think,
Indeed.
and essentially make me go, okay, well, I'm going to lose a unit of Reavers if I give away the turn.
Well, I've still got a hit.
You do.
We know how swingy catapults are.
So I think my decision's been made, and I will be taking the first turn.
You're taking first turn. Interesting. Right, well, just to quickly talk through my deployment. I've basically screened Chris out with some Mortec Guard. Yes, I've got my 2 catapults over here, just so that gave me the option that if he did let me go first, I could shoot those Reavers, because I'd rather be shooting them than the Eidolon. I've got my Liege Cavalos over here with these guys, because he can hand out +1 attack to this catapult, and then Catacross can hand out +1 attack to this catapult. But other than that, we'll go into Idoneth turn 1. Alright, Chris, talk us through your hero phase.
It's pretty short. So we basically cast a Mystic Shield with the Tiecaster onto the Eidolon.
Yep.
And we cast Flaming Weapon with the Eidolon on a 4 because it's really low.
Cool. What battle tactic you gone for?
I've gone for Aggressive Expansion.
Which 2?
I didn't even think about that, but probably those 2.
Those 2? Cool. That makes sense. Hero action, you went for an extra CP.
Yep.
Because Catacross was mean and stole one of yours.
He did.
And so you've got 1 CP there. I've got 10 RDP. And you've got a CP on him. Alright, so we'll come back at the end of your movement phase. Chris, talk us through your movement phase.
So we've got a few nice runs. We just naturally ran a 6 with the thralls and the Arnor.
Yep,
which is
you
cool.
didn't roll under a 4
No,
for your
I
runs.
didn't.
So
The turtle rolled a 5.
yeah.
Those guys both rolled 4s, and these guys have come on at the end.
Yep.
With Mr. Pointy Finger.
Yep.
Basically, he's gone. So the plan is he's gone as close as possible to the middle. So hopefully these guys are going to lock that catapult up, because within 6 of it, I mean, I'll tag it in combat anyway with where your mortar are if
Yep.
you make the charge, but it can't shoot if it's within 6, so
True.
that'll hopefully lock them up. And then if they're not the closest and he moves, he'll be the closest. And
Yes.
here's the thing, I think he's on a 2+ save. Like, I
Yes.
think he's good against catapults anyway.
Okay.
These guys have all moved up, so I've got like 6 or 7 in range.
Yes.
But I said to Scott not that it will matter. All of them are within 7. So basically,
Yes.
the theory is if Scott moved 7, like all of them on, for example, to take it off me without charging me,
Yep.
then I just redeploy onto it.
Yes.
And I've stayed as far away as possible so that hopefully he's not charging me in turn 1.
Yep.
But he probably still can. We're not super far away.
Yeah.
We'll see. I've tried to sit as far back as possible, basically, but still be in that position where everything can redeploy on
Yes.
if I need to. Reavers have just pushed up, Tails pushed up, and yeah,
All right. So, is there any shooting?
there will be some from the tail.
Oh yes, you can run and shoot because you flip the sides.
Yes.
All right. So we'll come back at the end of your shooting phase, see if you've managed to kill anything, and then we'll see your charges. Oh no, 2 more tech can't die. Would be a shame if Catacross brought them back, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So just your charges then.
Yeah. So, Fishy Fingerman's obviously going
Fishy
to point at
Finger-
those Mortec.
Oh, don't point at us.
So, the Ishlane are going to try and charge.
Go for it. You need a 6.
That's a 4.
That's a
We're going to use their
4.
musician to reroll. It's not looking good.
You'll be fine. There you go.
Okay,
There's an
so
8.
an 11-inch charge.
Cool.
Um,
Anyone else want to come in for the party?
honestly, I'm not sure about the throw. I'll roll it, and then I can agonize if I pass it.
Yes.
Which I do.
Agonize away.
They would have a 10, they would have a 10-inch charge.
All right. So they can come in if they want,
Yep.
but there's no other charges.
No other charges.
All right. So we'll come back at the end of the battle shop phase. All right. Let's talk us through the combat phase, then, Chris. What happened?
So the thralls went first. 8 of them were in. So we killed 6 Mortec.
Yep.
Because you elected to not give them rerollable saves so that you could give them extra attacks.
Yep.
Which I think I was happy with you not rerolling to try and try more. Because
Yep.
I thought that, like, the thralls would die anyway.
Yeah.
So I managed to kill 6, and then the eels got a decent amount of attack through. You passed all of the armor saves and the 6 ups. So it's all my dice, so be it.
Yeah.
And you killed 1 of my eels back.
Yep.
With a 2+ ignoring rend, but that's what 5 ones will do to you.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
lost
I
one.
had 33 attacks, so
But then I rolled a 6 on my battle shock with the reroll from the Archon Baron. I rolled a 2, so they're fine.
lucky.
So I lost the thralls. I had 1 left. They're going to auto run to battle shock, so I just took them off. And yeah, so we've killed 2 Mortec over there, 6 Mortec over there. That's
Yep.
it. We've got all 3 objectives, so I got my tactic. And
Yep.
I've got 1, 2 more.
1, 2, and more. Cool. Right. Well, after that, then we'll come back at the end of my hero phase. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. Alright, so my hero phase, pretty quick. Catacross did his bowl. I'm now up to 9 RDP. He brought back 3 dudes over here. 3 dudes over there. I've gone for Conquer on this objective. My Nightmare Predator was cast and came out for some fun. I've marked the Eidolon as its prey. Did no wounds to it though, which is unfortunate. 2 and you saved them both, yeah. Apparently Chris can roll dice. It's crazy. I did steal your CP though, so you've only got the one on your Tidecaster that you went for this time. I didn't use a hero phase ability because OBR. And I tried to cast 2 of the spells, but they both failed, so who cares? And that's all, so we're going to come back at the end of my movement phase. Okay, end of my movement phase. Everything moved up.
Nope. So 1.
I gave these guys the extra 3, cut across the extra 3, these guys the extra 3, and my liege over there an extra 3, who's going hunting over there. My catapult moved up a little bit. I'm probably going to have to shoot those eels. Well, I am going to have to shoot those eels. There's no probably in it. And yeah, and you redeployed your Eidolon so that you can unleash hell, right? How's that going for you?
I've got no CP. You keep stealing them.
Yeah. So
I'd have done it anyway just to make the charge harder.
yeah,
And you'd already taken the effective movement.
yeah, it's going to be a long charge, but we might go for it. So I'll roll them out actually. So we'll go for. Oh yeah, I should probably shoot.
I mean, you don't have to.
All right, yeah. So we'll come back at the end of my shooting phase, see what the catapults can do. Shooting phase done. This catapult shot at these eels because they weren't wholly within 6 and managed to kill one. This catapult, with 4 shots instead of 3, killed none. Oh, catapults, why you be so swingy? All right, so I'm gonna roll my charges out now. So I've got that boy over there. That's what, probably a 4,
Yeah, it looks about.
and he rolls a 3, so we'll measure that.
Oh, we agree.
That's
a 4. Yeah. Yes. There is a god.
Liege Cavalos, why you do these things? Alright, so that's a problem. And then we'll go for the big one over here. So these are +1. And that's a 5, so they're going nowhere. Alright, well, you know, didn't need it. It's fine. Alright, so we'll come back at the end of my battleship. Oh. Okay, so at the end of my turn, I've killed some eels. Managed to pile on enough more tech to grab that objective still, so I now have hold 1, hold 2, hold more, and I got conquer. So it's 5-5. 5-5, and we go into round 2. Let's roll that priority. Go on. I got a 2. You got a 4. Do you want it?
I'm not sure. So you might want to have a think.
Alright, well, we'll come back at the end of whoever the next title screen's turn it is. Alright. What happened? Hero phase. Exciting. So much.
So I used the Tiecaster's re-rollable dispel to get rid of the
Yep.
Stealer. Okay, no.
The Nightmare Predator.
But that put me down 1 cast, obviously.
Yep.
Failed my Deepkin prayer to try
Yep.
and get re-rolls, but failed that. But we did curse the Mortec.
Yep.
There's probably nothing going to them this turn, but it lasts until next hero phase.
Yep.
So I figured if you double beat, they're still going to be cursed.
Yep.
So might as well. And
You've
then
gone for Conquer?
I've gone for Conquer in the middle.
Yep.
And the Eidolon cast Mystic Shield, which I cast on the 10, and you failed to unbind, so he's got his +1 save back.
Yep.
And I failed to get a CP with the Tiecaster.
Yes.
So, and you stole mine again.
And I stole one
I only
again.
have 1.
So you have 1 CP. You should be alright though.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Steal it next turn.
Yeah. Alright, well, we'll come back at the end of your movement phase. Right, so the end of your movement phase. Things moved.
Yes,
Okay.
we've pushed hard basically
Yeah.
to take the middle with bodies.
Yeah.
And everything's going after that blob of Mortec.
Yeah.
Um,
I wouldn't want to be these guys right
The
now.
Souls guy's run up. He rolled a 1, but it's fair.
Yeah.
'Cause it's my first one below a 4.
It's a clever move because it's stuffing this catapult, shooting anything else.
Yeah, he's basically sacrificial. If I could have got him another 5 inches, I was hoping that it would have locked that one up as well.
Yeah.
And also slow the movement of these guys because
Yeah.
can't move within 3 of him. He's basically sacrificial. He can still point from where he is, so I'm happy with that. Everything else has moved. Annoyingly, because I can't run and charge in this turn, they are actually kind of slow.
Yes.
They'll get +3 to charge, so but I'll still need a decent charge to get them in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean we've got shooting first, and there might not be many left after shooting.
There's not going to be any
I've
left
got no
after.
red though, so
You'll be fine. Right. So yeah, we'll come back at the end of your shooting phase.
because I'm not within 12 of there, which is good, and neither is the tail, so we're good. Okay.
All right. So, how was your shooting phase?
Too good.
Yeah. There's a lot less Mortec going.
We realised that the Soulscry, because of his short run and how many I killed, he's now more than 24 inches from being able to point at those guys.
Yeah, you
So
can't
I'm
point
not
at
gonna be able
me.
to point at them. So we will be pointing at Special K instead.
Ooh, oh dear. All right, that's cool.
Do you want me to roll it now?
Yeah, well, these guys, there was a lot of shots came from these guys, and they killed like 5. And then there were barely any shots came from these guys, and they killed 8. Oh, and the Soul Mason has taken a win from Turtle being mean.
Yep.
All right, so Kanan, what charge are you going for?
Yeah, I'm going to point at Special K. The Eidolon is going to charge.
Tasty. With a
12.
12, that will probably might just get you in.
And then the Thralls are going to try and charge.
They're charging at the Mortec.
Sneaky on me.
With
Nine.
a 9, that will get you there.
Yeah.
Easily get you there.
Which, yeah, they'll obviously go, because it has to be in that order, so they will move first.
Yeah.
And then I'll go for the Leviathan.
Yes. It's the first time I've ever heard anyone call it a Leviathan.
Who is not going to make it with a
Oh.
5.
Cool. You have 1 CP.
I do.
Is this it? Is this the time?
That's a 7. Do I want him in?
Or do you want
Basically,
to
it's 12.
save it for a battle charge?
9 with a 12.
Why is it
Pilot's pretty
12?
Good. Adding 3 for pilot.
They don't get... Oh, for the pilot. Cool, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kind of checking how many I'd
Yep.
fit in. If I want to use it or save it for something else. I won't reroll it. Thing is, I might lose it, but I'm not gonna reroll it. Anyway.
All right, cool. No worries. So we'll go on to your combat phase, and we'll come back at the end of your battle shot. So that was an interesting combat phase. There are 20 more take less, because you came in, went choppy chop, and killed them, I think, with 1 wound to spare.
Just did it.
Eidolon came in, and he could not kill the guy in
I
the
did this thing
chair.
you never do in our split attacks. And
Yeah.
I missed with the spear, the 1 to wound.
I need to do like a whole show of where I just talk about why you don't split attacks.
But we put 6 wounds onto Catacross.
You did? You put 6 wounds into his special K?
But we did take 7 in return.
Yes. Which is,
And we didn't get rid of the spell that we wanted to get rid of, so now I'm
Nope.
just
Yeah. So, but you did get hold 1, hold 2, hold more, and your tactic. However, these were a predator unit, and you didn't kill them with a predator, so you don't get the
I
extra
don't
point.
get that point.
All right, so we're going to come back at the end of my hero phase. Okay, end of my hero phase. I went for heroic recovery and healed 1. And I also healed himself 3, healed him 3, and brought 3 of those guys back. For my battle tactic, I've chose to run 1, 2, 3 dudes. And I'm trying to think what else happened. You went for a heroic recovery. How
Yes.
did that go?
Not well. I rolled an 11 with the Eidolon
And failed.
and failed.
The only spell I managed to get off was Soul Guide because he's apparently I forgot how terrible a wizard he is. Not just like
You cast Arcane Bolt and I unbound it.
yeah, but I rolled a 5.
Yeah.
And then I rolled for Nightmare Predator and rolled a 5, so it failed. And so so I managed to get 1 spell off, which is very typical of him. So
Tactic choice stuff.
yeah, so I was gonna go for Savage Spearhead, but because this dude is just over half an inch, even if I got the charge, I would have to have 1 model there. So it'd be very risky. I guess I wouldn't have like re-rolled saves, so you could have hit me, but then you could have redeployed
The redeploy is
and
fine.
made it a real one.
I'd have made it impossible, basically.
Yeah. And that's it, really. Nothing else. I didn't steal your CP this time. You've got 2. I wonder what you'll use them for. Right, so we'll come back at the end of my movement phase. Why I order this bloody dude. It's causing my life so many headaches. So he redeployed, rolled a bloody 6,
Finally!
and stopped me getting my battle tactic because that guy just could not get around in order to get 3 units to run. So the problem we had was I moved these guys first, and that allowed him to redeploy. What I should have done is move this guy first, come around, and then it would have been easy for the other 2 to get there. And you wouldn't have been able to redeploy and do that.
Yeah.
But you know, lessons learned. I'm going to be 2 points down, but it doesn't matter because they'll all be dead by the end of 10, right? It's fine. Anyway, we are going to go into my shooting phase, and I think unless something drastic happens, we'll go into my combat phase as well. Alright, it's not going to plan. Catacross. He only did 2 more wounds to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you did 6 more to him, so he's taken 8. And you pulled these Mortec in, so they're in trouble, and that's about it. So I think it's probably going to come to this priority roll. Your Soul Scry is dead. Catapult was the single most efficient thing ever. Got 1 wound through, and that's all he needed.
Yeah.
Alright, so it comes down to this.
Score 1 and no attacks.
You hold 1, yep, and that's it. So just 1 point to me, which is huge.
Yeah.
That's a massive swing.
So I'm on 10, you're on 6.
Yep.
Yeah, black stuff.
Alright,
I'll roll first this time.
go for it. Ooh. So it's up to you, but I get to remove an objective if you take it. You're going to stop watching this channel soon, aren't you? It's just Scott loses to better players in the Queensland scene. Anyway, how was your hero phase?
We got our heroic recovery off with the Eidolon, and
We
we
did.
did get 3 back, which is great.
It's great.
I
good.
did
I did
hate this
cast
guy.
my Life Swarm, but you unbound it on like a 10. And then I did cast my Mystic Shield, but you unbound that on an 11.
Yeah.
And that was it for my hero phase otherwise.
I went best day ever on Special K because he's got 12 wounds left, and I don't think he's going to have 12 wounds left by the end of this one.
And my tactic is Savage Spearhead.
Savage
2
Spearhead.
units in your territory.
Yes. Which is the one where you don't even have to pick which units. Alright, so we'll come back at the end of your movement phase. So the jaws are closing on the OBR. These IDK. You've not lost a lot, have you? Lost barely anything.
Heals and the thralls.
But I've only lost 20
So
more.
basically, I've only lost the stuff that came on.
Yeah.
But the Eidolon was getting a bit dicey.
So cowards retreated.
It's coming back in.
No, it's not. And then you're gonna roll a double one, mate. You'll be fine. And then you've got these guys have all moved up. I think Special K might be in a little bit of trouble here. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll go into the shooting phase. Bye. He survived. Hold on, wait. I mean, he survived the shooting phase. He's got 1 wound left after being charged by a turtle, charged by thralls, and then this guy's charged over here. There was a lot of shots came in.
Yeah, the Eidolon healed 3 as well. With and charge. So he's healed up 6 this turn.
It's all gone Pete Tong. But we'll play it out and see how it goes. So yeah, we'll come back at the end of your battle shock phase. Well, it's not looking good. Catacross is dead. Soul Mason is dead. 10 Mortec are dead. And I did nothing back. Catapult was tied up. So we are in trouble. But we'll see what I can pull out my arse this turn. And if not much, then
I'll get 1, 2 more and my tactic again.
yeah, so you get another 5.
Annoyingly, I killed another Predator unit without a Predator unit. Because the Thralls killed him. And they're not a Predator. I wanted to do it with the turtle.
Costing yourself points here,
I
mate.
don't
Costing
need
points
that.
here. Alright, cool. Well, we'll come back at the end of my... yeah, we'll go at the end of my turn, I think. Yeah, because not much is going to happen. Alright, the end of my turn. Nothing really happened in the hero phase other than the terrain piece killed 1 dude. I also went for kill the battle line. And they're dead. I did it.
You did
Woo! I'm a champion. I scored points. The catapults killed 5 of them. That one retreated because if I finally get the double turn in this one, I'm gonna go for the bravery shot at the turtle, I think. Because that would just be too funny not to do. And yeah, so shall we? I score 1 and my tactic, so I get 3 points. What are we on currently?
15 to 9.
15 to 9. It's a long struggle back, but you never know. Right, okay, roll your priority. If you roll a 6, I'm gonna cry.
You're gonna rage quit.
I'm gonna rage quit. Throw my phone on the floor.
4.
Ah, it's still pretty good though. You've not really rolled low on priority all day, so. And all I've done is roll low on priority.
I mean, I'll tag you.
I thought you might. Yeah, I'll let you clean up.
But
All
just
right.
keep it a nice clean. I go, you go, I go, you go.
Exactly. So.
No double turns here.
So what I'll do is I'll switch to the GoPro and fast forward, and then we'll come back at the end of your battle shot. Well, as you can tell by the handshake, I gave up. I didn't have anything left. I had 2 catapults that are tied up and a Liege Cavalos that can't really get me any battle tactics on his own. I mean,
Yeah, we talked about it, and I
could probably get Conquer if I was to retreat with my extra 3.
Oh, and on the final.
And then if I finally got the
Got
double,
married, maybe.
finally got married.
No, you did conquer first turn.
Oh, so I can't even do Conquer. That's great. Can't do anything.
No. And you wouldn't have scored any objective points either. So yeah,
No.
we figured out turn 4 and turn 5 for Scott was 0.
Yes. That, to be fair though, post game thoughts. We'll start with you actually. So, what are your thoughts? Because this is your
Take it away.
this is your tournament list essentially.
It might be now.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time of running this variant. Like, I've never run 20 rules before. Like I say, the only reason for making them a 20 was to keep me 1 drop. But actually, the 20 was really good.
The 20
so the
was
thing we
strong.
talked about, my Predator units, it will be the Leviathan and the Eidolon, but then I picked one of my 20s of Reavers. Going forward, I would pick the 20 Thralls now, because the 20 Thralls was what killed all 3 of your Predator units.
Yes.
So I got 0 points for Predator units, and I could have had 3.
Yeah.
So those thralls were great, and I think the army works really well. Just having the 10 thralls, the 3 eels of the Soul Scryer pop up into OBR. It's always tough though. With catapults against Deepkin has always been hard.
Yeah.
So
like I knew I was going against IDK when we arranged the game, but I love catapults and I just find them fun. And I probably, knowing that this could be practice for you for tournaments, I probably should have run something a bit harder, but there's been a lot of my doc on the channel lately, and so I wanted to run out the OBR, and I love the catapults, and double catapults always fun, and it always causes my opponents
I still think it's really good because
heartache.
Mortec reroll, like my army hates stuff that can reroll its save, and so when it's all got +1 save with rerolls, like you could cast Mystic Shield as well from your Soul Scryer.
I
Soul-
barely cast any spells
Soul
anyway.
Mason, but it means that you can like ignore
Yeah.
a Pippa Rend and still be like a 3-up rerollable save,
Yeah.
which against me is actually massive because I wouldn't. It doesn't. Your rerolls. The issue, I guess, is it's not against shooting, and because I've got the Reavers to just help chip away, and it's way of dice. That's what I mean. Ultimately, that's what brought Catacross down.
Yeah.
It's just knowing he can't reroll his ones to save. I just forced you to take so many that you failed. What, like 8? You got like 8 ones.
Yeah.
Just
something
because
like
I made you take like 50 armor saves.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, Catacross I need to stop putting at the front. He's 20 wins on 2-up, but he's not invincible.
You do need to use him though. Like he's an absolute waste if you just keep him back, like buffing a catapult.
I don't know, like,
But
in the games I've won with him, I've won because he's lived, not because he was in there
yeah,
fighting.
yeah. I think you want to push him up so that turn 3, 4, 5 he's in the fight and
Yeah.
he's not like back at the board. But no, you're right. I think you need him alive. So you don't want to throw him out turn 1, turn 2 for your opponent to get into him when they can.
I severely missed Arkham in this game. Getting a clutch curse of years off, or being a monster, scoring those extra points. His speed as well, because he can go 19 inches before he runs.
Yeah, I mean that turn where you were like, what tactic can I do, and I made you fail one. If you had Arcane, you just go Monstrous Takeover.
Yeah.
And you just easy on the one that you
Yeah.
had anyway. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think a monster is necessary in every list just for monstrous takeover. For that reason, if you ever get stuck for a battle tactic, at least you can just go monstrous takeover.
You just go, even if you go back onto one you've got, because you don't have to take it off your opponents, just make sure you're controlling it and you've got them there. Like as you say, you moved 19 without a run. So, yeah, I think he does so much.
You played this amazingly though. Like your positioning with your Soul Scryer. That Soul Scryer caused me so many goddamn headaches. Coming on, tying up units for turn 1, and then just the way you positioned him just made my catapult useless.
Shut down a catapult for a turn, and it then also stops you getting tactics.
I think I was unlucky not killing your Idol in that turn as well. When he had 3 wounds left or whatever, Catacross probably should have killed him. So that was quite big as well.
I threw him in knowing I had Mystic and I had
Yeah.
All Out, so I was like, it's only going to be the Ren 3 stuff. But yeah, I rolled a few ones and I was getting a bit concerned. But
Yeah.
he's good because he can heal.
Yeah,
And
his
I need-
ability
and
to
the heroic
heal.
recovery fail the turn before was big as well.
Yeah.
But the fact that he can heroic, then he can retreat and charge and heal, and then I've got the life swarm in if I need it
Yeah.
as a potential option. And then, yeah, he can have a really good save. And the 5-up after save with the 12 wound sync just makes him a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, he's effectively 16 wounds.
Yeah, he's amazing
he's-
as well, and just the +1 to wound on everything. You were re-rolling hits, you were re-rolling wounds on the turtle. There was just so many re-rolls in this army, and considering you're already hitting on 3s with most things, you're making it 2s, and then you're wounding on 3s, 2s sometimes.
The worst this army generally is like 3s and 3s with no rerolls.
Yeah.
Like, is the plan. Like, there was a couple of times I was on 4s to
Yeah,
win 4s
a bit of
but
misplays,
not,
but, yeah.
not massively. The biggest thing with positioning we talked about that I did get wrong was the Tycaster.
Yeah.
When I didn't roll high enough to get her into your into your territory, it didn't matter like because I knew I was getting it with my a lot of my thralls, so I shouldn't have bothered running her that way, and I should have run her into the middle because then when you had the Mortek come in against those 20 Reavers that you did take off, they would have been able to unleash hell.
Yeah.
And then there would have been in range as well for me to go full out defense.
Yeah.
And you only killed them by 2 or 3 models.
Yes.
So if they'd unleashed hell against you, you'd have had a third less models. You can't reroll there. So then they would have been +1 save, and I don't think they'd have died. So that was it was a big positioning
I think
misplay on
failing
my part, but
2
otherwise-
5-inch charges with my Liege Cavalos as well.
Yeah, it did set you back.
That boy. What a pain he was this game.
Yeah. But we just before, like after I said I was taking turn 4, I said to Scott he could roll out his special bravery shots into the turtle if he got the priority.
And I would have killed him.
He got a 6 and a 5, so he'd have taken the turtle off, which we talked about. That if that had happened and Scott had the priority, potentially he could have pulled back. But if you hadn't burnt the middle objective,
Yeah, burning the middle one was a mistake. I think in this one, because I think that's the second time I've done that. No, it's not. But yeah, never burn the middle one. I think because it's just unless you control the 2 end ones, it's just too hard to get to the other side of the table unless you're playing something like Stormcast or Dorazaka and you got something that can teleport.
yeah. To be honest, I was really shocked when you said you were taking off the middle one.
Yeah.
I thought you decided not to burn one when you didn't take that one off.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, to be fair, because you were behind in points, like because of losing a tactic, I thought maybe that's smart leaving them all on.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't really help you 1-2 more, but it would have stopped me getting the point.
The issue
turning
was
my turn.
as soon as you won that turn 3 priority, I knew Catacross was dead. And Catacross dies and the rest of the army crumbles. And you'd pushed up so far forward and boxed me in such a way that I was just never getting them back. And I knew that, so...
Yeah, that's why I went first. Like, I saw the thing and I was like, I go first, I tie you up enough. I get the easy aggressive expansion, I push up. If I lose turn 2 priority, I feel like usually comfortable enough to give it away because I hit first.
Yeah.
So even if you charge me, I get to unleash hell, so it gives me an extra shooting phase effectively. And then I also the thralls would hit.
It's the army that does everything.
It's
With
good.
the AVK.
It doesn't do loads of mortal wounds though, and it doesn't like mortal wounds. So I don't know. New Stormcast I think are going to present problems. Like
I wonder what army I'm doing.
I do think new Stormcast will present me issues. Although that being said, they don't get any way to reroll once to save. So like those annihilators and stuff, they are expensive and low wound.
Yeah.
So my weight of dice, it's the same thing about taking Catacross off.
Yeah.
Like I probably can do enough
Yeah,
to get rid of
absolutely.
units. I don't think it does anything into dragons though.
No.
But then
we'll
I
find
don't
out.
know many armies that will do stuff into
We'll,
dragons.
we'll get you back on when I get my dragons.
I might have some dragons in my list at that point.
Well, in this list.
Yeah, allies for Deepkin.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's what I need. It's mortal wounds. It's higher end. It's, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for adding to the list of Queensland players that come on here and kick my ass. I will get better at the game at some point. But yeah, I think OBR are lacking currently anyway. I think they're okay.
I think they're really good in the your discipline. Now that you can actually make use of them all, and the Mortis was so good because you're using it like if I charge you, you're like cool, now I get to reroll to hit.
Yeah.
Everything's rerolling saves, you can do all this stuff to me. Stealing my command points to Catacross is horrible as well.
Yeah.
Because you stopped me in the first 2 turns doing shenanigans.
Yeah.
Which you miss out on those shenanigans by not being able to do Unleash Hell and redeploy.
Yeah, and they're massive.
But they are huge.
They're huge.
They are huge.
It's huge that we can't do them. That just like redeploy. I'm hoping with new OBR that they'll get a new, instead of the +3 to move, they'll get their own redeploy.
Okay.
Because I think that would help a lot. Because there's a massive problem they've got is like they move up, you redeploy.
Not being able to reroll charges is also massive.
They
It's
can't
always
reroll
been a problem for
charges.
them.
They get +1 to charge, but I'd rather have the reroll.
But now I can redeploy when
Yeah.
not being able to reroll when I can your opponent moved away from you Like,
Yeah.
it's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
But I still think they're decent.
I
And
think they're okay.
more of the catapults as well, more of the armies that are coming out that I think are good are low bravery.
Yeah.
Like all the people that are going to run cool boys, the catapults will love them because they're 2 wound models and you remove whole models on like bravery 5. So they're really good for like a few of the armies. Like even Iron Jaws against like pigs and brutes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like they're decent, I think.
Well, we'll get you back on the channel again. I think I'm gonna do a couple more games with OBR, and I will bust Arkham back out. I think I'll drop the Liege Cavaliers and the Soul Mason.
Yeah. That gets
And
you
get
Arkham.
Arkham. It pretty much gets me Arkham. I might have to jiggle points around a little bit, maybe drop the Nightmare Predator. Because I don't think I need the Nightmare Predator if I've got Arkham. Because they're pretty much handing out the same amount of mortal wings.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so I might do that, see how that goes. And, but yeah, double catapults instead. Because I love them. Cool. Right.
Cool. Thanks, mate.
And we'll get you back on again.